you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
And actually, when you break it down, each particle of your being is a limb. Although it's very small.
We're talking about offenses. And I think what I find to be is when you fasting. Oh, yeah. When people say, oh, I know you're hungry. Oh.
Yes.
I know you're hungry. I can't charge everybody because I know the Muslims, they kind of like make fasting seem like it's a hardship.
Well, some of them do be hungry and some of them don't know how to really fast, and that's why they be so hungry. They don't remember Allah, and that's why they be so miserable.
But yeah. I mean, when people won't let it go, you know, I have a tendency of saying, well, if you think that, then what about the children in these other countries? Yes. Or the children, their parents is on crack, who sell their food stamps, and they're not eating because you done cut the after-school program where you used to feed the kids. You done cut the breakfast program where you used to feed the kids. And during the lunchtime, you know, it's the only time they're eating for the whole day. And during the summer, you done cut all these different programs where cousin Sally's getting all the food and she distributed it to her family. And these kids is not eating. Why are you so tuned into me not eating? You know, have we made that life itself food?
Well, how about the stupidity about you wearing all them clothes in the summer?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know you're hot. Oh, yeah, girl, you take off that headpiece. Oh, I know you're hot. Let me tell you something, people. Educate a lot of you, because I know that a lot of people out there in the world in general is not aware. When you get undressed in the summertime and you take off your clothes, you wear short sleeve shirts and short pants and everything, and you put your little sun caps on and your sunshades on, and you got your feet exposed and your sandals and everything, because it's so hot. You're hotter. You're burning. You have exposed your skin to the sun itself, to the rays of the sun itself. Now, with all the wraps of the clothing that you see the Muslim women wearing and some of the brothers wearing, we're cool up under the clothing. There's some shade between ourselves and this clothing. And if you wear the right clothing, I'm not talking about synthetic clothing, I'm talking about clothing like cotton and what have you, and that you should be wearing. And wearing the right colors, because I feel for some of the sisters who are out there wearing that black. But sisters, you get in that purdah and you wearing all that black in the summertime, you're doing yourselves a great injustice, because even in elementary school they teach you that black draws heat. Yes. And you walking around in the sun drawing heat. Allah did not tell you to wear the color of mourning all the time. Yes. You need to use more common sense. Wear clothing for the weather. If it's cold, wear your dark clothing. If it's hot, wear your light colored clothing. You want to bring the sun in this winter and keep the sun reflected in the summer. But believe me, fasting in the summer, having those clothes on, you feel a coolness. Yes. If you're right in your mind, if you're surrendering right, and also keep your religion sacred. Don't run out telling people, I just made prayer, I'm going to make prayer, I'm fasting, I'm doing all these things by making it as though you're better than the person who's not going to make prayer and not fasting. You know, you're not the judge of yourselves.
That's so true. I used to say something that explained it, and I've talked to like different religious faith, and they don't understand. We talk about fasting. I know you have the hardship. No, not hardship. I even make it fasting easy for you. like you said, the right minds, the right concept. You know, even said it was Jesus that they have in their own book that said, when you fast, you put on a happy face. You ain't fasting to see them, you fast for the love of the Lord. Then put that on. You ain't professing to be seen of men. Like when you pray, like Muslims have to go outside. I seen a brother one day, I got so offended, not because he was making prayer, but in other people's mind, he says right.
Holy. And he's not doing what Allah said. Allah said,
right.
guard your prayers.
He started
guard your prayers.
Selling polys outside.
Here we is in hell, in the society of hell, and they out there praying and not guarding their prayers. I don't care if they got a man standing over them guarding their body. They're not guarding their prayers.
Right.
And people don't realize, they really don't realize the benefits and fasting.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It is such, I think it's the most beautiful time of the year.
Well, that's the thing I was going to speak on.
The benefits and
the physical benefits as well as the
spiritual
spiritual.
benefits, the spiritual benefits. And at the end, and you know, my children, you know, we don't participate in the, what you call it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and they said, you know, my daughter was like, you know, they're going to ask me again this year. I said, you know, that's so offensive. She told me one time, why you got to keep telling you? But for the record, that was not a holiday.
No.
It was a
holy
A
celebration.
holy day.
And then it turned into a
holiday.
Holiday is the devil's way of saying holy, you know.
Right.
And they utilized that day now. The Muslims, especially in this society, felt like they was missing something when they turned to Islam and away from what their parents gave them in Christianity and Christmas. They felt like, oh, we're missing Christmas. You have Muslims still till today, because Ramsey Muhammad told the people that they could go and enjoy Christmas with their family.
Yeah.
So you have some Muslims that go and celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know where what had he pulled that out of.
Well, he was the reformer of the faith. He was the reformer. He reformed it in a devilish manner.
And so now the Muslims that try to stay faithful and don't participate in Christmas, they done took and made the Eid Christmas. We're glad to eat. You got people saying, I know you're glad you can eat again.
I know.
Where do you get that from?
And then you have
the Muslims. They even let the media write it. It's in the newspaper.
Oh, yeah.
We're glad to eat. I'm so happy. Like it was a punishment.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to them it was. Could I say something?
Yeah.
If you want to see the fat farm, and I ain't got nothing against fat people, but you know, a lot of fat people was sick.
Yeah.
Fatness can be a sickness.
Yes.
You understand? And then you have some people who have get certain genes that they just fat naturally. They accumulate. We got all kind of human beings, but you got a lot of people who make themselves fat. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The glut. They say glut is a sin.
What is that?
You want to go to the fat farm? Come to Islam today. Everything backwards. I guarantee you see a bunch of fat brothers and sisters in Islam.
Yeah.
And they be the leaders, the ones most respected. Standing up there looking all scruffy with their big fat selves. Oh man.
And I'm mad because, as you said, part of the devil's trick of language being offensive again, they have translated take the holy from the wine, put it in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah. And put those words together.
That's look at the part of the trick of the devil.
Yeah.
And I've always taught us a part of this message again, they've always taught us. When you go in your workplaces, don't talk religion and politics. Because either way, you're going to fit in any arena. Somebody's going to be Republican, Democrat, or you're going to be Muslim, Christian, and the dialogue going to get you back and forth, get you into controversy, into argumentative. So when I go to work, I got to do my job. And now they see I did something wrong that I make.
Well, you don't go to your job to propagate. Because see, when I'm on my job, when I was, you know, I had a regular job, I didn't go to propagate.
Right.
But being that I am of Islam, my whole conversation is Islamic, but I don't go out saying Allah, Allah, Islam, Islam, Islam. My conversation is Islamic. I mean, my very natural words, what's Islamic about my conversation? It's my mindset. I don't have to call Allah's name for my conversation to be about Allah.
Right.
You see, so my whole conversation is Islamic. So yeah, you do take Islam with you to work, but you don't go with the flag with the propagate. But if somebody come wrong, then you correct them. You understand?
Keep the universe in the way I live it, Lord Most High.
Yeah.
Keep it in that thing.
Well, you know what they say, you know, in this country, it's a great country to say that they don't mix church and state, right? But they always mixing their religions.
Yes.
Their religion of politics, their religion of education, their religion of the way you supposed to think and act in society. They got religions within religions. Your religion, first of all, religion means your way of life.
That's what it is.
And they go, and you know, I have a problem sometimes. My wife don't want me going to school anymore. Because every time I go to school for my children, I have a tendency to turn it out. Because when I was young, I've had individual teachers who worked to lead me astray.
Right.
And I had Caucasians, unfortunately, and it's not a prejudice thing, it's just the truth. I had Caucasians purposely misguide me because they seen that I had special qualities. Mm-hmm. And led me to courses which taught hardly, the general courses, general education, taught me nothing when I should have been in college prep.
Right.
You see, so they seen something in me. So I know that teachers are human beings. And I used to try to tell my mother different things, or father, but mainly my mother, different things that was going on. My mother used to say, boy, shut up. Whatever them teachers say is right. And I knew they was wrong about a lot of things. And I punished myself because I had turned out to be a bad kid by the time I got to the 7th and 8th grade. You understand? Out of retaliation. You know? And so by me punishing myself, I wouldn't tell my mother what was going on. I tried to take care of my own business, and I got in a lot of trouble. Even had fights with teachers and what have you. You understand? But I was penalized, but them teachers was wrong. And they misused their authority.
Yes.
You understand? So when I go to school, I listen to the whole thing. I listen to my children. I weigh the whole situation. I'm not going in there with that idea of teachers is right now. I castigate them, man. Because, you know, I have one particular teacher, I'm not going to call his name, but he has punished about 3 or 4 of my children in music. I have a daughter who sings very beautiful. For 3 years, she was in his music class, and he would not let her lead a song. And finally, something happened where graduation time came. She got to sing a song, turned the place out, and he went trying to take credit for it. I said, "Oh no, you didn't teach her nothing. I taught my daughter, and Allah gave my daughter natural qualities to sing. Isn't it a shame how you try to hold her back? Now he done it to two others. But see, because of our experience with him before." My other children realize where he's coming from, and he's a Christian, and he try to hide his prejudice against Islam, and he can't hide it.
Okay.
And he put students up that oh, this is terrible. Try to entertain the people, right? But because he is prejudiced against, and the religious prejudice, you know, he can't just look at a child and say, okay, it don't matter whether it's Muslim, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist. I like what I hear. Let me try this. And then that other thing is try to make them sing the Star Spangled Banner, or I pledge allegiance to this country, you know, to this flag, and that's a religious symbol. Right. It's for people in the United States of America, the flag, you know, and I'm against that. And I don't think that no child should be forced to do that.
No. And Christian songs.
And I'm telling you, bring that church into the school. You go into the assembly, entertainment with the children, and they singing these Christian songs. I got children that's in the chorus, and I tell them you cannot sing them songs. So they have stood up on stage with the group, and certain songs they would not open their mouth. Now, that shouldn't be. Why can't they sing universal songs that don't intermix like that? They could do it, but they refuse to do it because subtly they want to force the children into their belief system.
In reality, there isn't a separation between churches.
There's no separation between churches. There's just a convenience for the politicians to put it out there and use it in any manner that they want to use it. And now the leader of all is this throwing church all up in there. Bush, the devil, just throwing church all up.
Just like, you know, they say freedom of speech, freedom of this. Now, Gabe is getting a lot of right past for this. But I'll never forget that brother. I can't recall.
Abdul Rauf?
Yes, I never forget that. And that's what makes me very bitter about our people.
The people don't know what you're talking about. Abdul Rauf said that he was a basketball player. He played for Seattle, was it?
The Denver Nuggets.
He played for the Denver Nuggets, and he made a statement. They want to force him out to pledge allegiance to the flag, and he didn't want to do it. He would stand still, and so the media had to make an issue of it. I already said that they should have let the brother stay in the locker room, tell him, look, you stay in the locker room until we come out. And we could just tell him you're going through a ritual and then you come out or something. You know, you praying before the game or whatever. You could alleviate the problem. But then they're going to ask the man a question, knowing where he stands. And he said, I can't pledge allegiance to this flag. This flag represents tyranny. And they said, oh, how dare he say that he was wrong. But it do represents tyranny. Yeah. It represents terrorism in other countries.
Yeah.
They see the American flag, people become terrorized in other countries. That's terrorism.
Not only that, when they put the slaves on the ship waved the flag.
Yes, it did. Yes. And they did that, brother, try to do him there, but he had already made his millions, and he's a very intelligent brother. And he, I believe, moved out the country. He moved to Canada. He said he played ball up in Canada. He lived up in Canada. It's better up there. You know, they didn't hurt him. They just cut his career short in basketball. But, he, you know, I believe Allah blessed him the way he was talking. But he said, I would never come back on what I said, because what I spoke was the truth. And what he spoke was the truth. But they believe that because you live in this society, you should be grateful, and you get all the rewards of this society, and you should not speak against this society. And if you do, you are enemy of the state, and you could be, jailed. But see, they forget this country belonged to the Indians, the Native Americans, not Indians, the Native Americans. They called them Indians. They belong to the Native Americans. And they forced the Africans here who became African Americans. You understand? So, where's the right?
And then they constantly. The Native Americans.
Native Americans and African Americans. Constantly offend.
And then they want us to have our children. I said, where's the right? Yeah. We fought about that, and I said, we stand our ground, and we make our children know why we take this position. And they stand their ground.
You know what I think is ironic? Kind of getting off the subject, but this is offensive to me, though. People coming to you and want to down you, for not voting. Yes. And what this is a freedom of a country of freedom, right? I'm free to not vote. You don't see me getting up trying to knock down the president and the politicians so much so because I ain't vote for none of them. And I'm not going to vote for any of them because they're all evil. I can't vote. If I partake of that, then I'm a part of that. Right. You understand? But our people won't stand together. No. We want to surrender to what's going on in this nation and feel like we're free when we don't even know what free really is. Right. And it's like, if Allah is not leading this thing, there's no reason for me to vote. You understand? But what I find ironic is that didn't we just get a contract recently that said we can continue to vote? Yes. So here we are, still second-class citizen or slave that's only given a right to vote. Wait a minute. Black people, African Americans, Afro-Americans, dark-skinned people, you have to get a contract to say that you can still vote? You better wake up. This is 2006. Wake up. Like Spike Lee, who didn't know what he was talking about, said, wake up. Wake up. You're not free. When somebody got to write a contract that said you can vote, we're going to extend this. You're still a second class. And then they refuse to take that thing out about us being 3/5 of a man.
We amended.
We amended, well, we might put it back in. Now he's still 3/5 of a man. In our eyes, we're still the same as we always been, always will be to the majority of Caucasians in this world. Not all of them, because I'm going to tell you something. You got a lot of mixed black folks that got Caucasian in them.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see it in them. And you got a lot of Caucasians that got a lot of black in them. But they try to hide it. They hide it well if their skin is got that pale skin enough, and they be white. But you got a lot of them that got black in them and African American, and they got African American spirit, and they know the truth. You know? And so you got some good people and you got some bad people in all nationalities, all races. You know?
So
So
it seems like it's in the interest of the powers to keep the people such as the Jews.
separation, divide and conquer, man. Like they did the Indians and they did the Africans and they did every people that they come to. Even now today, you know, they go over there like they giving democracy to the world. What is democracy? You know what I'm saying? They taking one evil and putting another evil in there, and they messing up the minds of the women, and all these Muslims are so happy, and they don't know that they just go on dividing them one at a time, and pretty soon their women gonna be, the hell with this veil and this headpiece, and you know.
They want to take out, they want to put in their democracy or somebody that's democratically elected something, although it ain't the leader that they choose.
Well, they put the leaders in there in those countries, so in essence, they're dividing and conquering at the same time. And they've been doing that all the time anyway, offending people, putting gangsters in lead, thugs, drug dealers, you know, as long as it's supporting their cause. But that's another story.
Sure, and it's funny because they many times telling people that, see, these people are being liberated. If you want to liberate people, let them do their own thing.
Yeah.
But don't liberate them, give what your ideology. You say this is democracy. They may not want to be democratic.
So the offensive religion of politics.
Then back again, it's all hand in hand.
Another offense.
Yeah.
Another offense is when they talk about Caucasians. They said, well, where you from? I'm from Ireland. Where you from? I'm from Italy. I'm from Portugal. Where you from? I'm from Spain. Black man, where you from? I'm from Africa. Africa is a big place. Africa is a continent with a lot of nations in it. How you gonna claim all of Africa? The Caucasians don't claim all of Europe.
No.
So it's offensive to me that our people will not come together and demand that DNA tests be taken of all our people, identification be made known to all our people about who they are and where they come from, what they're linked to. It don't matter if we link to Caucasians or Indians or Chinese or whatever. They have the technology, why they not doing it?
Oh, they can't do that. That means some Caucasians may own child support.
Well, we know that some of the Caucasians be like Thomas Jefferson. Some of the Caucasians find out that they black. They don't want that to be known. And then the other thing is that by law, we ain't supposed to be paying taxes, you know. So the African Americans don't know that we're not supposed to be paying taxes because we're not citizens. We're not voluntary citizens. We are forced into this country. Just like the Indians don't pay certain taxes on the reservation, the 30 million, 40 million blacks not supposed to be paying taxes. But see, when you go and spread that information, if people start really looking into that information, they try to kill the ones who putting that information out there because that's on the books. And black folks don't know it.
So all those Washington and Jeffersons
Can you imagine if they took my DNA and Benjamin Franklin happened to be my great. I have a lot of money coming back.
Yeah, so that's the
electricity. I invented electricity. Yeah.
And you know his Caucasian side would be very mad, like Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, yeah.
Those people would be mad.
Yeah.
I don't think they don't want to do no DNA.
Yeah.
So they really want to liberate the people and tell the truth still, even in that fact. As far as the DNA.
Yeah, but our people will not come together, and it's offensive. And it's offensive that every time we make it, you know, our people make it, selective individuals, they can never come together on the important things.
Yes.
You know, they can never come together to take leadership to build educational institutions to educate aside from the education of this nation. You know, because the education of this nation is all about the people who are the elite of this nation staying in power. And those who are secondary and third citizens, third category citizens, staying where they are. Slaves staying slaves. The poor staying poor. You know, and those who become rich and famous in athletics and entertainment of the lesser so-called people, they are allowed to become that because they are no threat to the government. They're no threat to the elite people, the so-called elite people, the Caucasians that rule this society. You see, if I want to become famous, all I got to do is stay public and curse the Lord on television.
Yeah.
Just like D.L. Hughley and the rest of them guys been doing, and they will make me famous. All I got to do is take what I'm saying and then start talking stupid, and they'll say, okay, we can use them now. Take them. Yeah. And they'll make me famous. But for the sake, for you know, out of the fear of my Lord and the respect of my Lord and the love of my Lord, I stay poor. Like Muhammad said, poverty is my crown, and I will be crowned in poverty before I turn on my Lord and act a fool. You know, and be misleading my people and being stupid. You know, because it's, you know, that's offensive to me, myself, to even think in terms of that.
Yeah, that's true. Our people, a lot of times, they don't know they're offensive because of the money they make.
Yeah, for the
religion
religion,
they have.
for the religion of money, the religion
Oh,
of wealth.
Yeah.
Religion of
I hear one of the stingiest people in the world is Michael Jordan, and look how many people run around here buying the sneakers and stuff, man. You know, and it's pathetic, man. You know, and then the elite amongst them be saying, oh, Michael's very charitable, this person's very, but they do it in private. Yeah, how much they do in private?
Yeah.
You know, well, they got to do it, a lot of times they got to do it in private because if they help the wrong group out, then they'll be cast down by the elite and they'll be ruined.
But wait a minute. If he's doing this charity, he's getting the money from the people that need the charity.
Yeah, and he's also getting the tax.
I don't see too many Caucasian people decked out in Michael Jordan wear.
Yeah.
I don't see them at Foot Locker waiting for that store to open up when his new sneakers come out once a month or once every 2 months or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, he has his own clothing line.
Yeah.
And he's very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I hear that they was offended. We talking about offenses in religion, the religion of basketball. Really? Well, I said, do not partake of your religion and make your religion a sport and play. They made their religion, their way of life, a sport and play. They were offensive against, I believe, it was a brother who played ball for New York, Marbury, because his sneakers, he got them at a low. Yeah, and they said that he's hurt. He's gonna be hurting the market, hurting the pro players. And he was like saying, why should I charge them? I know they were like I used to be. They poor. They can't afford them sneakers, you know. But you know what my wife and I used to do? We used to go off into the factory. You find out where the white folks live, who they produce the sneakers. Not so much where they go, but where they live.
Okay.
Where the gin lives, who own the sneaker companies and stuff, and they have little factories, little factory outlets where they sell to their own for cheap, man. The sneakers that the kids was getting for like $150, we was getting them like $50, $40, $30. We did that for years, man. Now it seems like everybody got hip to it. Now, if we want to find it, we'll have to go and find where they moved the place to. You know how people go bankrupt, and they ain't really bankrupt. They bankrupt and change the name of their company and go somewhere else and do the same thing.
It's like the joke, you got a silent place. If you're in the in crowd, it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you.
There you go.
Shh, be careful. You just don't talk
Don't
about
tell them where we at.
So with that being
Religion
said,
is selfish.
hopefully it has been enlightened somewhat to this conversation, this program. May the Lord bless you to keep tuning in. This has been an I-Have moment, the calm before the storm. Have a blessed evening and good night.
May I just peace and blessings be there about the friends as well. It's been very much a good conversation, people. I appreciate it, and I thank you for listening to our conversation, because what we bring to you is conversation.
Yes.
You know, and within the conversations, we try to give instructions to teach what the Lord has given us to teach. Thank you very much, man. Just peace and blessings be there about the presence.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly